Welcome to another episode of Spirit Rising. Today we're talking about, is Dr. Doolittle animal chat possible for you and your pets? Well, listen in as Sharyn describes her relationship with her cat and how you know what's going on for your pet by using specifically designed questions. Let's get started.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Spirit Rising with Psychic Sharyn Rose. Welcome back to the podcast. Today is another Ask Sharyn day, but I wanted to focus on one thing today, and it's animal communication. We've talked about animals before. I've talked about animals before, and everybody seems to really enjoy that topic, but I haven't really addressed animal communication and how do we communicate with our animals. Was Dr. Doolittle real? Was his communication style real? And I want to tell you unequivocally, yes. We can communicate with our pets. Now, my predominant communication with animals goes to the crossed over pets. Oftentimes, when I have people come in to see me for a medium session, a lot of times it'll be their pets or their grandmother's pet. Somebody that an animal will come through to precede the people. And I've always really, really enjoyed that because the animals are so uncomplicated. Animals work through instinct, and they feel our emotions, but they act on their primal instincts and their emotions, and they communicate multidimensionally. We're more complex, and we have a bit of a different thought process than they do. So I wanted to address that today, and I wanted to sort of share with you how you might be able to communicate with your pet. I know that sometimes when they don't look like they're feeling good, we're tempted to take them to the vet. For example, I'm a cat girl. I think most of you know that already. I love my kitties. They come and they go, but I really love my kitties. And I've got a little gal now who's 11 years old. And she had a weepy eye. And I just thought, I wonder if I should take her to the vet. She's got a weepy eye. And then I just kind of went energetically to her and I went, oh, she's got a blocked tear duct. I'll be darned. And I just knew it. I knew it was the truth. So I got a warm, damp cloth and I held her and I just swabbed at her eye and cleared away some of the debris that was there and just cleared away this little blockage that was in her tear duct. And she's been fine ever since. So I could have taken her to a vet, somebody that I think would be able to look at her and say, oh, okay, here's the problem. But I didn't. I trusted myself and I was right. And that's, I think, the first part when you're a pet owner is being able to trust yourself and say, because we love these animals, don't we? They're our babies. And some of us, they are the babies we currently have, especially if our kids have grown up or we never ever had kids. So I want to just share some ideas with you on how you can connect with your pet and how you can share your life with your pet and know what they need, how they feel, and what you can do to help them improve their lives. So the information that I'm sharing with you, I've gotten from, and this lady she's not an animal communicator, and I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but it's Rosalia. Let's just go Rosalia. If you see somebody out there, she's a Reiki practitioner and a holistic health warrior. It's Q6 or something. Anyway, Rosalia, she wrote this article and I really, really liked it. And it's the tips that I can share with you. So I'm going to share them from my computer to your computer. So knowing the kind of questions to ask your pets during a psychic session with them can help prevent illness with them. And it can also help prevent unhappiness or injuries or maybe when they're feeling like they're being neglected or something's going wrong, your connection with your pet will deepen and your bond will be indestructible when you do have a psychic reading with your pet. There are always online pet psychics who can guide you through sessions, guided communication sessions with them, but you don't necessarily have to have that. I know for myself, I'm a psychic, but I never really, I'm personally connected to Mia, my cat, and I never really thought about my psychic connection with Mia in that sense of how can I help you? So I've done these exercises with her. Now I do know better. Yes, I do know that I can do this. It's just, you forget, you get concerned and you get worried about something that's going wrong with them. So what you can do is go into a light meditative state, be calm, put on some nice soft music and just sit with your pet and just energetically ask your pet, how are you feeling right now? How are you feeling right now? And they really feel our emotions, okay? And they connect to our feelings. But we often need to set aside our needs to understand what our pet is feeling in this very moment. So when you do this, what you're doing is you're asking your pet, how are you feeling right now? And you're putting your own needs aside as to what you need. You're really focusing on them. So it's not always clear what they're going to show us. And sometimes we can be too focused on ourselves to notice. Sometimes that's exactly why. Because what happened, a good example with Mia, with her, I got concerned that I wasn't doing the right things for her, that she needed to go to a vet, maybe something was wrong. I didn't know. And then when I stepped back and kind of intuitively went into her space, I understood that that was what was causing the problem for her eye, and it was causing it to weep. And it cleared right up because we were able to take care of it, just the two of us. But I had to ask and I had to get out of the way. So you have to do that too. So if you want to know how your pet's feeling right now, sit quietly, sit calm. You can find out if your pet is uncomfortable or if they're angry or unhappy. And knowing what your pet is feeling can really help you take the right steps to accommodate the pet. And number two, is there anything that's causing you stress or unease? So you can ask your pet. Now, again, I mentioned our pets focus on our emotions and our feelings, and they know when we're stressed and they sense when we're at ease. But are we able to notice that in them? And to see, humans are, we're more complex. And perhaps your pet is stressed or feeling uncomfortable, and maybe they're in pain or they injured themselves and you're not aware of it. Maybe because sometimes, cats can jump from, my cat jumps all over the place. She's 11 years old, and you think she wouldn't do that, but she does. She's very healthy, 11-year-old. But she can hurt herself by jumping from one step to another and dislocate or hurt a hip or a foot or something. And sometimes they'll show you signs that something's off, but it really takes an examination to kind of know. And knowing what causes your pet stress will relax both of you. My cat has become uncannily tuned into me. And she loves David, but I swear she sees David as a food dish because David insists on being the one to feed her. So I just let that be. It's fine. But I swear that she sees him coming and it's like, okay, I'm going to get fed. I'm going to eat. And he's going to comb me because he combs her every night when he gets home, which is really sweet. She adores that. She just loves it. But when I'm sitting having coffee in the morning and I put a blanket on my lap, or even if I have my long house coat on, right away, as soon as I've got nothing really serious going on, she's on my lap. And when she's on my lap, she'll come and she'll stand on my lap sideways so that I can hug her. And I literally will give her a hug, and I can feel the energy exchange from her to me and me to her. She loves it. And it's like she's asking for a hug. And I'll give her a hug. And they're usually fairly long hugs too, not hard hugs, but long hugs. And then because she's got a little bit of arthritis going on, and I've got a little bit of arthritis going on. So I guess we're kind of helping each other out in that sense. But then she'll let me know when she's done. That's good. I let go, and she might lay down and go to sleep, or she might jump down. And if she jumps down, I know she's coming back for round two, because she'll go around the whole thing and she'll come back up and she'll jump back up and she'll jump on my lap again and stand the exact same way. And we'll do it until she's done. Okay. So your cats will give you signs, and or dogs, your pets, but you have to be tuned in. You have to pay attention. And if you get to know your character of your pet, which most of us do as they grow, especially if we've had them from very little, then we can understand when they're stressed and when they're anxious. And number three, ask them about the food. Our cat is very picky. And I know a lot of you cat moms and dads out there, you have picky cats. Cats are picky. Dogs aren't so bad. Dogs can, my son and his wife family have a little Havanese, and she hides under the table at mealtime. She's pretty sure somebody's going to feed her. And if they're at our house, she knows it's going to be grandpa. He's going to give her a piece of meat, or he's going to give her a piece of fruit or something. But he'll always ask them if it's okay for her, because she does only eat a very strict diet. Whereas our cat has herself on a strict diet. She's basically taught David what foods to buy. And so he'll buy sometimes a case of this because she gets canned and dry. And she likes the dry. She has no problem with the dry. But the can, he'll sometimes buy the cans and he'll know which ones she wants. And he'll take the others over to the Whiskers Rescue or someplace where they can take advantage of it, because she won't eat it. She'll just sniff the food and walk away. But it can be really hard to sometimes understand if your animal is not enjoying the food because they don't like it, or it's because they aren't hungry, or if they have digestive discomfort, or something you've been feeding them isn't really good. And animals can become unhappy and have discomfort with food they've been eating their whole lives. And all of a sudden they're off their food. So ask your pet, if you're sitting calm, ask your pet if they enjoyed the food they just ate. In a guided communication session, you can deepen your bond with your pet in that regard too. When I say guided, what I'm talking about is I'm talking about a visualization where you are sitting quietly, like in a premeditative state, sort of contemplative, meditative, and you're talking to your pet. You could have your pet on your lap, could be sitting beside you or at your feet or somewhere in the vicinity, and you can close your eyes and have this communication energetically, and your pet will respond energetically through the visualization that you're receiving. The challenge humans have in a lot of cases, they don't trust the information they get back. They go, oh, but I could be wrong. Maybe it was just my imagination. Don't do that. Keep practicing and practicing and practicing. Pretty soon you'll be communicating with your pet. You'll know exactly what's going on. Number 4, do you feel loved? And our pets show us love, don't they? They're so affectionate. They love cuddles and they love kisses and they love hugs. But do they feel loved by us? Are we returning the favor and caring for their needs? So if you ask your pet if they feel valued in the same kind of session, you can determine if you're giving them the proper attention that they need. And in my particular case with my cat, you can tell that, yeah, I can tell. And when Dave comes home, yeah, she's got him wrapped. She's got him. She knows exactly what he's going to do because he's also very consistent with her. That's another thing with pets is you want to be consistent with your pets. You don't want to be all over the place and erratic because then they don't have a pattern of behavior to call on. Number 5, where do they like to go adventuring? Now, there's cats that will be outdoors and they go for walks, maybe on a leash or whatnot, and dogs that enjoy walks in the park. Knowing where your pet likes to be, it's really important. Like some animals do really well, like dogs do really well in dog parks, and other dogs don't do so well with that many pet dogs around them. Maybe they prefer to go for a quiet walk on a walking trail by a lake or maybe in a field somewhere. But by understanding your pet's favorite adventure or favorite places, you can often find them if you lose them and make a good decision as to where you want to go on your next outing together. But you'll know what kind of environments they really like. My cat, every night, has got to be the adventure she wants to go on is chasing the laser. She loves it, and she comes and sits at my feet, and she stares at me until I grab the laser light, and then she's off and running. It's so fun. So you get to know that about your pet as well. How does your pet feel? This is the next one. How does your pet feel when you're not around? You can ask them because as adults we have places to be. We go to work and we'd like to take our pets with us everywhere, but you can't do that. It's not possible in every environment. So we want to know how our pets feel when we're not there. Perhaps we wish to communicate with a deceased pet to understand how they feel without us in that particular setting. Well, actually, let me give you some insight there. Deceased pets are never gone. They're never gone. They're never without you. And so to ask a pet if they miss you, they're going to say no because they're right there anyway. They just don't have their body. But asking your pet how they feel when you're not around during the day or when they're home alone, maybe, it can really bring you some ease and some peace. And you can then get some guidance as to what serves your pet the best in regards to the time you spend with them. But just to understand when your pet transitions over, they transition out of physical, but they spiritually are with you as connected as they've ever been. And they will stay with you, even if they come back in partially into another pet. And this is something that's difficult to understand because physics, this is all really physics. When we transition out of physical, we don't have our physical presence anymore. We're pure light, pure love, and all knowing. And our pets are exactly the same. But our pets, just like us, can reincarnate. And when they reincarnate, they'll often reincarnate into maybe the same species of animal. And a dog may come back as a dog. A dog may come back as a cat. It depends what your needs are if they want to come back and join you. And if you're asking for a new pet. When Mia came along, we found her. She was a rescue. All of our cats have been rescues. But I had lost my cat, and I lost my cat it was a long time before Mia came along, and I was really missing my cat. I didn't want another cat until about 6 months before Mia showed up. I asked the universe, I said, well, I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to get another cat. I think I'm ready to replace my cat. And then we had a gentleman come to the door with this little tiny kitten saying, I found this cat out back. Is it your cat, or do you know whose cat it is? And can you guys take care of it? And I went, oh, yeah. We put up posters and all this stuff, and nobody had claimed her. So she became our cat. But I know that was the universe answering. And I know that my cat that I lost now this cat is a female. The other cat was a male. But I know that this cat is got bits and pieces of the other cat in character as well. You can ask your cat. Also, they sometimes don't feel like they have enough space. Now, this is particularly carriers in cages with dogs or small apartments that don't allow for large dogs to play or move around. Sometimes owners don't consider how the animal might feel and create all sorts of stress on their bodies and minds and souls because they don't have enough room. And especially the large working dogs. Working dogs have got to have a job. I think it's essential people know this. Don't put a big old German Shepherd in a tiny little apartment. That is not healthy for the dog unless they're a source of comfort for you in the sense of they are a service dog. That's different because they're taking care of you, they're helping you, they're guiding you. But if you're just as a pet, don't do that. It's not fair to the dog. Working dogs have got to have jobs. And sometimes when you take a dog for a walk, if they're really unruly and they're just out of control and they just seem to want to bark at everybody and they seem very defensive and whatnot, put a harness on them and put a backpack on them like a dog pack and put your water in there and put your phone in there and tell your dog, you're carrying my stuff. I need you to do this for me. And your dog will walk proud and tall and happy because it's doing something for you. It's of service. Okay. So that is a way to also allow your working pet. But again, be very sensitive of the space. You can ask your pets, do you feel my emotions and my thoughts? Now, I know my cat does, but I don't know. Like maybe you're not aware. Maybe you're thinking they can't. But the cat might come up and rub your leg, or your dog might do that. It may cause you to wonder if your pet can feel your emotions and thoughts. And you can ask again during a session and just confirm your intuition. Use your intuition. You've got it. We've all got it. Use it. After a stressful and emotional day, you might notice your pet's not their usual self. They might be cuddlier. If you get in an argument in a room where the pet is, you may find the pet will leave. Even though you might even be arguing quietly. Your emotions are high. They may leave the room and they may not come near you, or they may come to comfort one of you. Do we do enough together during the day? Do we go out enough? And this is particular for outdoor animals. My cat's not an outdoor cat, except for brief times she'll go out the door and sit on the deck. That's pretty much it. But they need fresh air. Animals need fresh air just like we do. And you might forget to take them for walks because of work or chores or other tasks you've got. You may not realize you've not taken your pet outside all day. But asking your pet if you go out enough during the day in a communication session can really help you create a routine that works for both of you. Okay? And if there's multiple people in the family, usually the pets can get lots of interaction with people from the family because there's always somebody to walk them or take them out. And number 10, what can I do to make your life happier? This is such a good question to ask your pet. You might not always know what's missing in a pet's life, and maybe they just need a new toy. Maybe they want to sleep in a different place. And often we become comfortable with a particular way of doing things, and we get into a routine that keeps us from expanding our horizons. Maybe there's something you can change or add to your pet's life to make them happier. And you won't know unless you understand your pet's needs. So ask your pet what you can do to make their life more happy in a guided communication session and improve your connection to your pet. Now, one thing we did just recently is I noticed that I was having a little bit of digestive issues. So when I do that, heat always works for me. So I have a little heating pad that I put on my stomach to help it ease up and whatnot. And whenever I had the heating pad up on my stomach, Mia would come and sit with me. And I thought, oh my gosh. So one day she was sitting with me and I just put the edge of the heating pad over her behind, like her back. She was laying on me with her back to me, her butt towards me. And my legs were out straight. And I put the heating pad over her back end and she just, honest to God, she started purring. It was crazy. So I checked online and you can get pet hot pads. She's an older lady now, so she needs to have care. So we bought her a little box that it's got the hot pad sitting on top of it. And because she doesn't like to lay on the floor. So I put it on the box, you plug it in, put it at 100 degrees, and you can run it for 12 hours at a time. And she absolutely loves that thing. She will go, and she's not on there all the time, but there's times when you can tell when she jumps down off the back of a chair or whatnot, she stumbles a little bit. She'll go to her hot pad and she'll sit on her hot pad and she'll allow it to soothe her. So it's paying attention, just being really attentive and being aware of what you can do to help your pet. So I would suggest step up your own emotions. If you want to talk to a pet communicator, there's lots of them out there. Knowing whether you've got a good one or not is questionable at times. But it's really important that you are tuned into your pets and that you're able to be a good pet parent, and that gives them the opportunity to be a good pet right back at you. I picked a card from the Stephen Farmer's Messages from Your Animal Spirit Guides today, and I got the emu. And the emu says, this is a good time to go on a new adventure. If I can suggest, maybe go online and do some Googling around how can I learn to be psychic with my pet? How can I understand my pet? How to develop my pet awareness or my intuition around my pet? And check that stuff out, and maybe you'll get some guidance there. But I would just suggest sit quiet, get calm, visualize, go into meditative, contemplative kind of space where you're not really meditating and you're not really contemplating, you're in the middle, and just ask your pet visually these questions and visualize the answers coming back to you. So much fun. So much fun. Our animals bring us such joy. I want to encourage you to make sure you pop over to SharynRose.com, the website, www.SharynRose.com. All the podcasts are there. This is podcast number 90. We're going to do a special something or other when we hit 100. We don't know what yet, so maybe you guys have some ideas. You can always email me at Sharyn@SharynRose.com and give me some information as to what you'd like to see as maybe a contest we could run, or a prize you could win, or something you want to hear about. I get lots of that, so don't be afraid to do that too. Thank you very much, everybody, for popping on to Spirit Rising with Psychic Sharyn Rose. I appreciate you being here, and I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you for listening to Spirit Rising with Psychic Sharyn Rose, formerly the Medium Well podcast. Still the same great podcast with the same great advice from Sharyn Rose. Make sure you follow us on your favorite podcast player, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Google Podcasts, and never miss an episode. All you have to do is follow on your favorite player, and you'll be able to catch a new episode of Spirit Rising with Psychic Sharyn Rose every Wednesday, released at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll talk to you next time.